done. And today I would like to go over another lesson with you guys on digestion, absorption, and transport. So during all of these videos and these lessons I do with you guys, I would like you to take notes during this. I will also be adding in some YouTube videos for you guys to watch as well. I'm expecting all of you guys to be working on your nutrition logs that I sent to you, as well as your workout logs, which are part of the at-home workouts that you will be seeing every day. I put up a couple of videos so far. I'll be putting up another at-home workout video for you guys today to follow. So please make sure you're getting all those assignments done. Please make sure you're taking notes on all these videos. Please contact me back. I've been calling all your homes, and I'm not getting back from everybody. So please just have your parents or yourself call me when you get a chance, or email me at my school or my regular email address. Just get back to me as soon as you guys can, and I will be continuing to make phone calls. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to reach out. So today's lesson, like I said, is going to be on digestion. So I'm going to be going over some slides with you guys. I'll be showing you a quick video, and then we will also be taking a quiz together. Okay, so slide number 1 shows the 3 organs involved in digestion: the stomach, the pancreas, and large intestine. The stomach churns, mixes, and grinds food to a liquid mass and adds acids, enzymes, and fluid. The large intestine absorbs water and minerals, passes waste, fiber, bacteria, and unabsorbed nutrients along with the water to the rectum. And the pancreas manufactures enzymes to digest all energy-yielding nutrients and release bicarbonate to neutralize acid chyme that enters the small intestine. Okay, the microvilli are tiny hair-like projections on each cell of every villus that can trap nutrient particles and transport them into cells. So please remember this word right here, guys, okay, and this definition. Just might be on your quiz. People that don't have to worry about combining foods like fruit and meat because the digestive system can handle more than one task at a time. So unless you have a food allergy, you really do not have to worry about combining any sorts of foods. You should not have any food issues whatsoever, guys, unless you're lactose intolerant or unless you're gluten-free. Okay, a healthy GI tract is home to some 100 million microbes. That's a lot. Please remember that number, 100 million microbes. The health and regulation of the GI tract. Hormones are chemical messengers secreted by a gland in response to altered conditions in the body. Okay, diarrhea is not a normal digestive response. It can require medical attention, guys. Constipation should not be treated with laxatives or colonic irrigation, and blood in the stool is not a normal part of the digestive process. It cannot be ignored. Okay, so please, like I said, guys, take some notes on all of these. What I would like to show you now is a quick little video that has to do with what we just went over. So please follow along.
Right now about the nuances of, here's your gallbladder, here's that, we're not going to give you all of that information. It's in the book. But I do want you to know, again, some of the things that could be questions. A lot of people have heard old myths, like you shouldn't combine certain foods, like you shouldn't eat a protein with anything else, or in energy source, you shouldn't mix carbs with fats because they digest at different rates and it's going to screw you up. That is not how the GI system works. First of all, the pH of your stomach, the hydrochloric acid, is 2. I mean, you could drop a watch in there and it's gonna just dissolve it almost. I mean, that's just it's 2. It's acid. So whether it's a banana or oatmeal or a Mountain Dew or a steak, it's going to all get digested no matter what combination. Now, there are some very sensitive GI systems that you need to be careful of what you're doing. You have food allergies and things like that. But I just want to say, as a general concept, combining foods is okay. That's just how we evolved. I mean, we eat anything we can get our hands on to survive, and that's how the GI system is. Now, once that food has left the stomach and it's in the small intestine, that's where food starts to get absorbed. And so, um, you know, you don't need to know these kinds of things, but for example, most of the protein is absorbed in the first third of your small intestine, which takes a couple hours. Carbohydrate much sooner. Undigested fiber. So you think, well, this has high fiber food, so that's almost free. People who count net carbs don't count fiber, but that fiber gets down to your large intestine, and the anaerobic bacteria consume it and turn it to fat. That fat goes up the hepatic portal system into your liver, and it's back in your bloodstream. So every calorie counts. I don't subtract fiber or things like that. It's a matter of having a healthy GI system with the types of foods and the amount of fiber. But those are just kind of some nuanced questions that you might run into. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, that.
So guys, just like was stated in the video, remember you can combine any foods together at any time and you will not run into any issues unless you have a food allergy. Okay, I'm going to fast forward this video a little bit for you guys.
Even though I'm working with a client in terms of what they might be experiencing that we can eliminate with just food choices, you should really ask some specific questions to see if you should be recommending them see their physician.
And that's a good point you made, because some people might be embarrassed to tell you those things. Like if someone's seeing blood, they're not going to be like, hey, I just
shit a bowl of
yeah,
blood,
exactly. And they might be embarrassed, thinking, okay, I'm okay. There's maybe just a phase or nothing's wrong. And I see that a lot where the more questions you ask, eventually they might be like, well, okay, I do this. Like, for example, I had a client a couple weeks ago where he was having difficulty with bloating and swelling, and I was trying everything I could think of to try and find out what it was, and we went through a bunch of processes, and eventually it came to the point where I was asking a lot of questions, and he goes, oh yeah, I chew like 2 packs of gum a day. And it ended up being like that was the thing where the sweeteners just kept like disrupting his GI system, and we eliminated that, and he just started feeling way better.
Wow.
And so he's chewing it all day long, so he's just extremely sensitive to it. And I was like, that's something so simple, but by me asking questions, eventually it came to like, oh yeah, I'm doing this as well, and I didn't really think of that.
Yeah, and so all these things, guys, are important for you to know, and like Tyler said, it's incredibly important for you to ask those questions because they will probably not bring these things up. But what I want to do now is transition into why understanding the whole digestion, transport, and even absorption components of nutrition is important. It becomes, like I said at the beginning of this episode, so valuable in just how you explain things. In the NAMS workbook, I touch on the concept of metabolic positioning, which is just a term I coined years ago to explain how blood sugar and hunger and even body fat storage works. So this is something I do in almost every general population nutrition lecture I give, and it becomes the greatest visual, almost metaphor for people to get it. So I'll explain things like this. To access stored body fat, that's just one energy source, and there are other options in our body. So all of the foods we can consume, carbohydrates, protein, and fat, we also have stored versions of those. We have stored carbs in the form of glucose, which is blood sugar, glycogen, which is stored blood sugar in the muscle and the liver, and we also have stored body fats everywhere, which we're trying to get rid of. We have amino acid content in our muscle tissue, so that's protein. So you have those 3 macronutrients that we can consume, and then the stored versions. And our bodies always use carbohydrates first because blood sugar, glucose, is the smallest form of energy possible. It's what all of our cells will prefer if it's available. And so initially, as I'm explaining this to clients, I'll show them, when this goes from your esophagus into your stomach and then it gets absorbed in your small intestine, if we have too much carbohydrate or too simple of a carbohydrate, blood sugar can start to rise, and that triggers insulin because we don't want blood sugar to go out of control. That's a dangerous thing in our body, too acidic and so forth. And so our pancreas releases insulin to bring that down. Well, it brings it down by storing it as body fat. So the first thing we need to do is not eliminate carbs, but manage them. How much carbohydrate can I use without triggering insulin? Well, it depends on our genetics. It depends on our context. If I just trained, I might be able to eat twice as much, 3 times as much, as if I'm sedentary. So it's very contextual, but there is a limit. And then what happens if I manage those carbs so I'm never going sky high? Well, in between meals, now that I've got this nice blood sugar increase that's stable, doesn't trigger insulin, in between meals, I'm still...
All right, guys, so just to kind of go over a little bit what you just watched in that video, one of the things that I discuss a lot in my class, and I make clear to you guys how important it is managing your carbohydrates, managing your macronutrients, your protein, your fats, and your carbs. We do not want to cut out our carbs completely. That's almost like going into ketosis, is where you cut your carbs out altogether. And that's something I want people to realize, and you guys to realize, is that we don't need to go on extreme diets like that. As long as we manage our carbohydrates, you'll be perfectly fine. We'll get our body fat low enough that we're in a healthy range, and you won't have to worry about that to get your body fat down. So that's why we manage our numbers, we manage our macros. That's why you're doing those nutrition logs for me, guys, so I could see exactly where your numbers are at. So it's very important. From here, we're going to go and we're going to take a quick quiz together that I would like you guys to try out. Okay, so I just need to go out here. Okay. Insert. And we are going to take, like I said, a quick quiz. We're just going to go over a couple things on here, and we'll take this first quiz together. Okay, so we're going to go down to our week 3 quiz, and you guys are just going to follow along with me, okay? All right. Question 1. This organ manufactures enzymes to digest all energy-yielding nutrients and releases bicarbonate to neutralize acid chyme that enters the small intestine. Okay, and the answer to this is going to be the pancreas, guys. Hopefully you remembered that one. Good job. Microvilli are the tiny hair-like projections on each cell of every villus that can trap nutrient particles and transport them into the cells. And this was in your slideshow that we just did, and that's going to be true, guys. Next, a healthy GI tract is home to some 100 million microbes. We just went over that one, and that is going to be true. Okay, next one. Gastrin is an example of blank, which is a chemical messenger secreted by a gland in response to altered conditions in the body. And I don't know if you remember this one, guys. It was in our slideshow. This one is going to be hormone. Okay. True or false, blood in the stool is normal and a temporary part of the digestive process and can be ignored. Guys, you do not want to see blood in the stool. That means you need to go get checked out immediately if you do see something like that. So that's going to be false. Okay, it looks like we got all 5 correct. Good job, guys. I will be adding up a workout video, at-home workout video for you guys to do today, so please follow along with that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime, guys. Like I said, we're doing this together, so I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you guys. Have a great day.